Alec Pierce received a second PRP injection, which is putting him way behind schedule. Already a complete avoid for this channel, Alec Pierce. Kind of a crazy contract he got. No ability, in my opinion, to be as good as expectation. And this man, Tyler Warren's the #1 pass catcher on that Colts offense. And he goes to the absolute moon.
Stock on the run.
Not trying to celebrate injury, anything like that, but Warren's going.
Mashed potatoes. Yeah, buddy.
To the moon, ladies and gentlemen.
To the moon.
Question is, are you already on the shuttle? Because we ain't letting anybody else on this bad boy. Tight end 2, tight end 3, drop it in the chat. The Fantasy Football Show begins now. We also talk about Achane and why he's a complete league-winning steal in fantasy football second-round territory. It's ridiculous. A debacle. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. Like tonight, that's how Dad did it. It's how America does it. And it's worked out pretty well so far. Hammer dropping a $20 super chat to begin the show. Hammer, appreciate you being in the building tonight. And this particular message from Hammer says Tyler Warren finishes top 3 tight end. Been saying it since day one. This is one of the biggest, I would say sleepers on the channel for the majority of the offseason, because he's been living in an insane ADP territory that still makes 0 sense to me. 0 sense. This man goes so much further down the ADP board than a guy like Colston Loveland, who's climbing because of the Luther Burden news. Some of you think Luther Burden's not in jeopardy of missing week 1. I'm here to tell you that he has probably at this point just as much of a chance, 50-50, of missing it than not missing it. No matter what somebody tries to tell you about being predictive and saying we are hopeful, even if the team says we are hopeful he's ready for week 1, he still has to be evaluated. Now, again, 50-50 for me. Burden could play week 1. But Loveland's going to climb no matter what. The reminder of what Loveland could be, people aren't going to let go of that. Loveland's starting to creep up. He'll probably, instead of going to the top of 4, maybe into the bottom of 3, Loveland probably will climb right around to the middle of 4, while this man, Tyler Warren, stays at the 6.5. Sometimes he goes as late as the late 6th round. You don't get him in 7 much anymore, but 6th round versus maybe Colston Loveland's 4.5. So these guys are 2 rounds apart, and Warren could very easily finish as the #2 fantasy football tight end in 2026. This is I believe, Saturn Man extraordinary.
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man,
Mars?
one giant.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Mars Man extraordinary.
Man.
One of the first additions to the billboard.
Dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
One of the first additions to the space boards. This man was dropped on 2/10/26, February 10th, 2026, and he's still sitting in a disrespected middle of 6th round draft territory. Ladies and gentlemen, this man wins you leagues and feeds families.
I smell meatloaf. Hey, Ma, the meatloaf.
Let him cook.
Ladies and gentlemen, thought I'd move that camera up just a little bit. Thanks, Hammer, for the $20 super chat. Any super chats will be handled in order in which they're received. Let me read the report to you that's got us so excited about Tyler Warren. No, not celebrating injury or anything like that. There's room for everybody to excel. This guy could show up tomorrow 100%. Doesn't really even change our evaluation of this. It just helps us convince the people that need convincing, because this channel is kind of about trying to prepare everybody I can for war and for battle. And Alec Pierce, according to the Athletics, James Boyd, he received a second PRP injection in his ankle and is being deemed very far behind schedule, which was already putting him at a very, very tough chance of making week 1. So how many weeks does he miss is the way that I'm looking at this. Even if he tried to play on the ankle, which he was kind of told he needed surgery, he said, I don't want to have surgery, waited, and all of a sudden we get closer toward the season and he decides to have the surgery, something that could have been avoided. This is a guy that doesn't even feel like a wide receiver 1 on any level, signs a monster, huge contract, getting paid massive amounts of money. And I like him. He'd be a good second wide receiver on a team, or maybe a good number 1 wide receiver in the right environment, like this one to a degree, right? If you put him in LV and he's kind of like the poor man's player next to Bowers with Genty running, it's the same concept. JT, Warren, Danny Dimes, Fernando Mendoza, feels very similar. Steichen, Kubiak. I'm okay with what his role is. But if he was on the Raiders, I don't think people would be drafting him as high. And so I don't know what the fascination is with Alec Pierce being on your roster. Another underdog mentality type of player. This is Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith is Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce is Devontae Smith. David Montgomery is still got it, is Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce is David Montgomery, has still got it. If Flowers going in the middle of round 3 is the same as Alec Pierce, these are one and the same. This is a type, an archetype of attraction for some fantasy football owners that like to root for that underdog player that is just, getting crapped on or doubted, and you just cling to it. It makes no sense at all. But it doesn't even matter. This doesn't matter. It really doesn't. This guy's feeding families. And no matter what happens, and you hear this from me all the time, and take this to the bank, that players in the role of a Bowers or a Warren, even more so than a regular tight end on a really good offense, they have compartmentalized volume that really is untouchable by any of the surrounding pieces on the team. Warren's going to get his. There's more than enough volume to feed multiple players in the passing attack on any offense. Even Carolina, where they don't throw for a lot, or even in Philly, the tight end, Goddard, the tight end, if Carolina had one that was worthy enough, they're going to eat. The compartmentalized volume is there. Nothing's going to happen to it. Alec Pierce on the field won't take it. Alec Pierce off the field doesn't. He adds to it for sure, but he can't take anything. This is why we're celebrating it to a degree, because maybe this guy gets hyper targeted, but that doesn't even mean anything at the end of the day, because maybe he gets more double teams. Maybe the defense is more focused on him. If he's ripping down the field, and he does do that well, and even if he's not catching it, it keeps defenses honest. So there's a pro and a con, a give and a take. If he's not on the field, this guy seems to probably get more defensive attention. If he's on the field, then he's more wide open, might get less targets. It's really a wash at this point. Honestly, I want him back. I'd rather have him back than not back. But right now, this man is going to lead the team in targets, going to lead the team in touchdowns, going to lead the team in yards, going to lead the team in red zone targets, everything. This is the offense aside from JT. JT keeps the defense as honest as he can. Danny Dimes still looking pretty spry. Honestly, I don't think he'll run a ton, but he's certainly not going to just dance around and bobble around like Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins with the Achilles recovery. He will definitely be active in trying to keep the defenses scheming up how to stop him as well. And he looks pretty good. Every day that he gets healthier and looks better, Daniel Jones, the more I'm starting to draft this man right here. Not every time, but I'm getting more and more excited about drafting JT at 10, 11, 12, because we know what he did with Danny Dimes on the field. Danny Dimes is on the field. Danny Dimes looks healthy. Every day that Danny Dimes convinces me that he looks like he didn't even tear his Achilles tendon, this man goes up in value. Running backs tearing their Achilles tendon, just to be clear, very different than quarterbacks tearing their Achilles tendon. Quarterbacks are kind of scampering around. They're not trying to hit the hole, like elevator doors closing, and not forgiving ones that close and they don't open if you stick your hand in there. These are elevator doors, the hole closing on the offensive line. Running backs that tear their Achilles lose a step and they can't hit the hole, it's kind of game over for the running back. I do believe we will see that change. And we're talking about NFL Achilles tears, not college, where college players come in with an Achilles tear. We're talking about you tear it in the NFL. Why is it a death sentence to running backs? Because it takes more than a year. It takes about a year and a half to 2 years to get that explosion back as a running back, and teams move on. That's essentially what it is. So J.K. Dobbins tore his Achilles. He's constantly struggling with injuries. Deonta Foreman tore his Achilles. He was like the most successful return of an Achilles tendon running back we've really kind of seen, J.K. And no other running back ever, period, has tore their Achilles tendon and ever become a top 10 running back or return to top 10 running back form after an Achilles tendon tear. It just hasn't happened. It will. And the medical, it's all getting better every single year. And there will be some sort of scenario where the player tears their Achilles and the team still believes in them 2 years later, a year and a half later, but it takes time. Danny Dimes is different. Quarterbacks are different. Basketball players are different. There's so much more that goes into the running back position that explains it all than the other positions. So Danny Dimes not worried about it, even though Achilles are such a bad injury. This guy looks fantastic. Back on point, didn't mean to go back in that direction on a tangent, on a sidetrack note, but Warren could have very easily, ladies and gentlemen, a line that looks something along this. Well, these guys are in the way. We'll talk about Achane in a second and what we're doing with Achane and Hampton if they're side by side in a draft. We might be faced with that tonight. But Tyler Warren could essentially have 100 receptions, 1,200 yards, and 7 to 12 touchdowns. That sounds crazy. It sounds wild. Maybe this is 90 to 100. It certainly could be more than 100. It could be 1,090 yards and 105. It could be 10 touchdowns and 1,000 even. It could really be any sort of balance. And I did put a 7 here, a 7 to 12, just to make sure we're not throttling everything up to the moon. But this is the kind of receiving season he can have as the sole provider of the entire pass catching room. Not just the sole provider of the tight end room with a very, very decent but not wide receiver one capable Pierce. Pierce is out. So the oversaturation of targets will be there. And even though I said earlier that you don't really want Pierce out all year, because then defenses are like, okay, like this is the only show in town. Let's just bracket, double team. It's hard to do that with Warren because of the nature of his position, but you're not really going to see that because Pierce isn't out the whole season. So I don't know that defenses are going to fully scheme the way they would if they knew there was no other weapon on the roster, right? You go into the offseason, you scheme against teams. You go into the week, you're scheming against the team. It's just different how teams do that. Sure, they're cognizant of it, but there is different game plans and different ways that they try and shut down the offense. And I just don't think that we're going to see teams really do as much as they should be doing against Tyler Warren to combat that he is the focal point of the passing attack. And then JT's the key, the critical part. JT stretching the field. Not to mention if Josh Downs ends up staying healthy, he's banged up right now, but it seems to be a very minor issue. Downs is the number one wide receiver on the team. And I know Alec Pierce owners don't want to hear that, but ladies and gentlemen, we're wasting time talking about Alec Pierce because it's not Alec Pierce. It never was Alec Pierce to me and to a lot of people that watch this channel because I see it all the time in the comments. And let me just grab Josh Downs and throw his mug on screen. This is a man that I believe is going to be a very sneaky wide receiver 3-4, but potential to be a very cemented in wide receiver 3 in 2026 fantasy football. If I can find his dang graphic, where in the hell did I put it? Hang tight for me. I don't know where in the hell I put it. Let me search for it real quick because I don't know. I just don't feel right about not having his mug on screen. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Josh Downs, raise your hand in the chat if you believe Josh Downs is the number one wide receiver in Indy, even upon the return of Alec Pierce. And it's okay if you disagree. That's why we play the game. I don't want anybody feeling like they can't, voice their opinion. It's not about ever being a disagreeable Donnie in here. It's respect. It's coming in and being a ridiculous Roger, a rude Ronnie. But if you're going to be, polite and disagree, that's what makes the world go round. I argue with people all the time on the phone line. But raise your hand if Alec Pierce or if Josh Downs is the number one wide receiver in your eyes, no matter what happens with Alec Pierce. Not to mention, if Alec Pierce even comes back, he's going to be slow moving for how many weeks, even upon his return. So, let's see here. Downs can finish with at least the most yards. He certainly could. All right, let me go over to this other piece of news. Or actually, it's not really news as much as just what I want to talk about in general. So DeVon Achane is completely disrespected in fantasy football circles right now. And I'm getting sick and tired of watching people. It feels very much like before when we were the ones that invented DeVon Achane and the rest of the world didn't believe us. The rest of the world continued to say things like he's too small. He's going to get hurt. He's not a number one running back. And we had to tell people, remember the Achane board? Remember the guy called up and said, I don't want to hear you say Achane ever again. I said, oh yeah? And I said, Achane, 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 Achane. He said, don't ever say it again. I said, Achane. I said, Smitty, don't say it again. Achane. I proceeded to write it, I think it was 1,500 times on my marker board. Started out writing it big, then I realized I needed more room, and I go, Achane. 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 Started to become therapy for a lot of you. What is it, ASMR or whatever? We wrote it on the board 1,500 times. You don't tell me not to say DeVon Achane. You don't tell me to not feed this man a truck full of spinach on a Saturday night, preparing him for a Sunday. You don't tell me or any of us what to do. We are DeVon Achane.
Achane. Achane is the man. His haters call him small.
But he is 9 feet tall.
Achane is the man.
Bring it in, boys. Bring it in, boys. All right. Lower him down. Don't worry. He's not fragile. Just set him right down. Appreciate you very much. Achane, you are Smitty approved. Now, here's the thing, and what is this guy saying? He says, I remember when you wrote Achane 100 times. I remember when you wrote, you mean 1,500 times? I remember when you wrote Achane 100 times. No, 1,500 times on the marker board, my boy. Not 100. 15. It took about an hour and a half. I stopped the show when I said Achane, and I wrote, do I need to do it again? This is one of the dumbest things in fantasy right now. I don't even understand it. It doesn't even make sense. Achane 2.6. It was a lot further. He did fall. He has climbed as of recently. It was 2.9, 2.8, 2.7. This is the territory he was in. It's not that much higher, but he definitely was floating right here. You could get him with JSN like clockwork. I remember the first time it happened. I was like, I got JSN and Achane. I couldn't believe it. I about spit my drink out. And this is still very good, and you can still get, by the way, JSN, because he's disrespected and sometimes falls to the 1.7. I've got him at 1.8 a couple times too. But JSN right here with Achane, this is unbelievable. This guy is This bakes in every single piece of risk that you are concocting in your own head and thinking that you have a case for against Achane in round number 2. If he was going at number 6 overall where Christian McCaffrey is, or number 7 where Amon-Ra St. Brown's going, you'd have a case to be like, I'm a little worried about what could happen. Maybe he doesn't deliver upon the expectation quite the way we need him to at that level. I could understand that, but he has since dropped in value double time, down not at 1.6 or 1.7, but 2.6 and 2.7. We're talking about doubling that ADP downstream, which is just incredibly weird. It's weird, but it's also strange, even stranger, that the person that's doubting him doesn't say, wait a minute, enough's enough. The line in the sand has been crossed, and I've been coined the line in the sand in the fantasy industry. If you've ever heard it, it came from here. But this is what line in the sand means, and I need new markers, damn it. This is what line in the sand means. That it discontinued the markers that I used there. This is a glass board that needs liquid glass marker. So some of you were saying, get Crayola. This is a liquid marker, but this one in particular is too strong. So I have to I've literally got like tennis elbow from having to just push to erase it. And I don't get a spray bottle or something. That's probably would solve it. But anyway, neither here nor there. You're sitting here, and this is what line in the sand means, which we coined in the business quite a long time ago. If let's say it's Achane, for example, Achane's going here at 1.5, and then he starts to fall and fall and fall, and you're like, oh, well, he's too risky at 1.5. He's too risky at 1.8. He's too risky at 2.1. Where's your line in the sand where he flips from avoid to absolute smash? Because it happens. Now, sometimes the line is a thick line. It's from 2.1 down to 2.9 where it's a gray area, and really the line in the sand is at the end of the gray area. So you go, no, you get into the gray area and you say, well, man, I'm kind of in right now, I'm okay. Then you get past the line in the sand, which still exists, and you go smash. Where's your line in the sand for Achane? Your line in the sand for Achane, quite honestly, not to decide for you, but should be at 2.1 as your second drafted player. The crazy part is he's crossed past the line in the sand so far that he's sitting at 2.6, 2.5, 2.7, which is win a league material. And you should be saying to yourself, reassess time. He's an absolute steal and Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Now, I do have my concerns about the Hampton situation. Not specifically about Hampton per se, because we think the rest of the world's over freaking out. I think there's some freak out that's understandable. We did the Panic Chamber episode. We opened up the Panic Chamber doors. Go watch the earlier show. If you missed it, we opened the Panic Chamber doors. We stuck Hampton in, and we said, no, we're not going to close the Panic Chamber doors on Hampton. He doesn't belong in the Panic Chamber. Well, he belongs in the Panic Chamber to talk about it. Then we ushered him out and did not close the door on him. The reason we didn't is because he's still got so much potential. And the risk is kind of baked in as well. He's not a first round pick anymore. Would I take him in round 1 with the concept that they might on occasion have a hot hand type of thought, or Keaton Mitchell looks so good that they just 50-50 it? He still earns second round value, and maybe he doesn't crush it like he would have if there wasn't the mentality in place that we're talking about. And it might not even be that mentality anyway. This is coach speak. But there's just second round value. There's no arguing second round value. Second round value is fantastic. So at the end of the day, we don't close the door on them. We're not freaking out on it. We're not doing any of that. But I do believe that there's a little bit of understanding that you're going to move him down slightly. So if Hampton is an occasional 11, 12, 13 guy for me, and I hear this news, I said this on the 8 p.m. show. You can go watch the entire Hampton show. It's the Panic Chamber Hampton show. He does drop maybe 2 or 3 or 4 spots behind Achane, behind Chase Brown, behind Walker. So it's not like he falls out of the tier that he's in, but he goes to the bottom of it. And that's not a panic. That's not a freak out. That's a logical move for a situation that does not require a freak out, but it requires an adjustment. And Achane, my fear is that the rest of the fantasy football world, and I hope they don't, I hope I'm wrong, I hope they don't react. My fear is they react and they say, who is our darling now? As a consensus, not verbal situation, just kind of like how's the ADP trend? How's it kind of nudge somebody and then everybody reacts to it? And then it's like tapping your brakes in the freeway. If you tap your brakes in the freeway, it impacts the freeway like 2-3 miles back. Everybody starts slowing down and it can get the freeway to come to a crawl and a halt. They've done research on it. It's crazy. So 2, 3, 4, 5 people reacting, and then that draft reacts, and then that draft reacts. Before you know it, a reaction by the community of Hampton needs to drop and they need to vault somebody up. It might not just be next man up. It might not just be Walker moves up and Brown moves up. It might be people going, well, where's that upside that we want? Where's that huge potential kind of unseen yet, but people doubt it. And we want that, that doubt, because the doubt can insert a whole bunch of upside and kind of that risk it for the biscuit, play for first place, play to win, take the gamble. I could just see Achane or Chase Brown or Walker climbing up pretty high and even like it triggering some sort of movement in this brick wall of running back ADP. This ADP's been sitting here for months with nothing but RBs, for a brick wall, like a half round of RBs. It starts with Cook, Genty, Barkley, Hampton, Walker, Chase Brown, Henry, and Achane. Not one wide receiver, not one quarterback, not one tight end breaks up this link of RBs that goes straight down. Jostling up this kind of thing with sort of big player dropout of that could move A.J. Brown up to 2.2. And as I said earlier on the other show, J.J. is the last wide receiver on this ADP. Look at it. J.J. And there's no wide receiver until A.J. Brown. If A.J. Brown were to leapfrog J.J. on more bad Kyler news, and maybe A.J. Brown has good camp news, he would maybe climb from this pick all the way up. It's just a concern that you got to think about. Simi Valley, thanks again, Hammer, for that $20 super chat. Hammer dropped another $20 super chat. Simi Valley dropped a $2 super chat. Let me screenshot those two and put them on screen. Appreciate both of you gentlemen dropping the wattage in the live chat. Hammer, appreciate you. Hammer time is now.
It's hammer time.
Let me read these two messages right here. This one from Hammer. Or first of all, Simi Valley says, Achane. Hammer says, an environment-proof player. I think Achane, top CMC, 1,000 yards receiving this year. Certainly possible. And those that think that Malik Willis doesn't throw to a running back, doesn't check down, I don't know what Mickey Mouse content you heard that from. Like I'm embarrassed right now. Secondhand embarrassment. Somebody says something, does something that embarrasses you, and you had nothing to do with it. I'm embarrassed right now that you think that Malik Willis, you have some sort of handle on what he's capable or not capable of doing. Let me ask you a question, Excel sheet Eric. Let me ask you a question, Excel sheet Ernie. If we're going to use this man's data, the small sample of data, which is phenomenal data, by the way, phenomenal data, and I'll go to my thefantasyfootballshow.com right now, and I'll screenshot just a small part of this unbelievable data that is on Malik Willis's player page, which you can find over on thefantasyfootballshow.com. But if I screenshot Malik Willis right now, and we're going to use that small sample of data that is just nonsensical to use because it is so small, then if you're going to call him a non-check down artist or merchant, then I'm going to tell you that he is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league based on the data that you're using. I'm not trying to make that argument. You are. I'm saying you can't use the small sample of data, but I do love what I see. But if you're willing to say he doesn't check down, we've got data. Well, we've got data too that he is the number 1 quarterback, number 2 quarterback in tremendously vast array of categories that are very important categories for quarterback evaluation. This guy is, by all accounts, a top 5 QB in the National Football League by your small sample of data. So why don't you zip it, stop talking about how he's not a check down merchant. And why don't you wait and see what happens when you hand him the best option on his team to throw to and see what happens? Also, why don't you wait till he gets in his own lineup with his own keys to his own car instead of judging him for wearing Jordan Love's shoes and having to run Jordan Love's offense? Does Sam from the TPS report department stick you into his role when you're working in quality assurance and judge you for sitting at his desk and how fast you type up TPS reports? No, you're judged for the job you do in your environment. This man looked phenomenal wearing shoes of Jordan Love, and you're judging him when he's first in yards per attempt. He's first in this, first in that, air yard, like just nonstop. Okay, what he doesn't check down. Talk to me after. I really like Malik Willis, and his ability to run and scramble is phenomenal. And you can say what you want, do what you want. You're just going to embarrass yourself if you're going to start acting as though you know what Malik Willis is going to be. Malik Willis is going to turn Achane into a monster. 12-man PPR. I have the 1.6. What would your most ideal picks in rounds 4, 5, 6 be? Hard to say, bro. I mean, that's like asking me to look into the future of a revolving door that has another 3 doors, that has another 3 doors, that has another 3 doors. In general, from this draft slot, I can tell you I love JSN. I love DeVon Achane. I love Genty on or Taylor, and then getting AJ Brown or Bowers. I love JSN and Bowers. When I get down to this territory, love Igbuka. I love McBride. If you didn't already go quarterback, if you're in a grandma league, Neighbors will sometimes fall from this 3.1, 3.2 down to 3.5, 3.6. So you can get him there, but it's harder. ETN's a good fallback in round 3, to be honest, to grab a running back. He goes higher in some formats than others. Josh Allen's probably the safest pick you can make when you've run out of talent that you just don't like and you're forcing, oh, I got to pick a Kyron when you don't love Kyron there. Breece Hall's starting to grow on me in the 3rd round as an RB. But I'd say my ultimate dream scenario would probably be JSN, Achane, McBride, or Neighbors, or Igbuka, or definitely McBride, or Josh Allen. And then when you get here, bro, in this territory, love ETN, love Garrett Wilson. ETN could go in either round, but love Mike Evans in the 5th. I love Tootin in the 5th. I love Adams in the 5th. I love Hendy in the 5th. I love Bucky, and then you cuff him. I love DJ Moore if you have Josh Allen. I love Drake May, Burrow, JD5 in this territory. That's the way I'd probably tackle it. But again, man, you gotta go with what the draft gives you. There's no way to kind of quantify that. Jesse, appreciate you very much, Jesse. You are the man, the myth, the legend, doing it live. $20 super chat from my boy Jesse. Appreciate you, pal.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Man, you guys are awesome, bro. We've had a good couple days. Everybody falling in here. Luis was fantastic last night. Hammer's been dropping monster wads in the chat tonight. On the 8 p.m. show, we had BBQ in this mug. The season started today. If you haven't noticed the traffic, we're at 400 to 500, 600 viewers in the 8 p.m. show. This one we're around 3 or 4. It can build as the stream goes on. It's just everyone's starting to come back. You're starting to see a lot of, I'm back, let's do this, we're so back. When we've all been, a majority of, especially me, it's my show, but we've all been here from the beginning. A lot of us watching, but man, it's okay. We accept all the people that need, breaks or can do this thing 365. It is what it is. Just so glad to have everybody back in the saddle. Let me go through these super chats in order in which they're received. We'll open up the phone lines, maybe do a draft. Drafts in 2 weeks, been checked out since last season ended, got busy. See, this is okay too. Everybody's different. We're glad you're back, checking in into all shows moving forward. So he's sounding off, taking a role in advance. All shows, we're going to look for Mike Jones. We're looking for you. I need to see you in here. I need extreme help. Well, we can help you, my boy. Appreciate you for dropping the super chat and being here. Glad to have you. AJB, Igbuka, ETN, or Chase Brown, Igbuka, Garrett Wilson. I would say AJB, Igbuka, ETN. No. That's close. That's pretty dead even. I mean, even if we take Buka out, right, it's AJB and ETN versus Chase Brown and Garrett Wilson. I think I'm going to go. It's dead even. It's dead even. I don't even think I can really have a good argument as to why one would be better than the other. I probably lean toward. I don't know. I think AJB is going to be phenomenal. I think the Saints will be really high octane. Garrett Wilson, I love more and more and more, but he's starting to feel like a little bit better to grab, but he still has a little bit of risk of being capped and ceiling. I don't know. I think you're, no matter what, you're crushing it, and it probably scores the same amount of points. You just happen to pick two really, really good scenarios that I'm happy if you went down either road. I guess I lean AJB by a hair. My first three picks in my current draft are Bijan, AJB, and Neighbors. Ray G, that's unbelievable. That's a total Smitty approved team. You know that. That's fantastic. Ray G, glad to have you here, my guy.
You've just been Smitty approved.
All right, Ray G to the moon. Yeah, that combination that you had was identical, really. Dynasty, what would you need on top of BTJ to move off of JT? BTJ and I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't think that you need like Love. You know, like Jeremiah Love. You need something crazy. You need. I mean, even Pickens and BTJ, but like that's even like not even what you're probably after. Running back wise, like Hall and BTJ probably wouldn't even do it. I think JT's got too much value. You're gonna need something significant, Mark, and that's just not. That's not an easy question to even like dial up because BTJ shouldn't have the value that we're thinking he might have. So you almost have to pretend like he's almost a throw-in. So you're talking about Hall, you're talking about maybe a Bucky, but like Chase Brown. It'd take Chase Brown and BTJ to go get JT or to give up JT. Like you really need to not settle for anything. I wouldn't even say Bucky. I think Bucky's too low. And I love Bucky, but Bucky has his risk. I'd say Love, Walker, Chase Brown. I don't think ETN would be enough. Like those things, you need more. You need more. You got to get more. Jesse, thank you again for the $20 super chat. Hopefully that explanation helped you. It's a good pick. The 1.6 is good. Don't trade it if for any reason you can trade it. That's the worst thing people do is like, I trade it down to the 10 pick. Dynasty, what would you need on top of? Oh, I just did that one. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you with the super chat. This one's from John Savage. Hey, Smitty, just wanted to say appreciate your hard work. Such an entertaining show. Thank you. The show loves you back, pal. Appreciate you. I couldn't think of a better job, and spending my days with you guys is fantastic. My days and nights. Hey, Smitty, I vie to be the most consistent and always there for you entertainer. Like I get this is a content show as well, but it is entertainment. It's probably 50% entertainment, 50% fantasy, because a lot of people will watch year round when they may not need to because they enjoy having a daily show. They enjoy that, and I can't stand when, you know, if I'm a viewer of something, whether it's the news, whether it's a Netflix show, whether it's something I'm streaming, it drives me nuts that something's not available every day. And so like that's my mentality when I do this, is like if people consume this that way, and they do, and I'm very grateful of it, I do want to make sure that's how this feels, because that's what I would want. That's what I do want when I consume something. And I'm talking about like I watch things like the news. I watch, shows like whatever. I Netflix stream all the time. I can't stand when something's got 12 episodes. My goal is to literally make sure, oh God, it just started pouring rain. Well, my car needed a car wash, so that'll work. It just started. Monsoon season in Arizona is crazy. Hey, Smitty, okay, read that one. Thank you. Appreciate you, John. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the show. We just started, getting things into in-season mode, it feels like. That's the way everybody's ready to rumble. It's fantastic. Favorite fantasy wide receiver growing up? Mine is Dez. Randy Moss, for sure. Jerry Rice, but Randy Moss, Chris Carter. I loved both of those guys. I loved watching the Vikings. It was so fantastic. Thank you. Good question. Priest Holmes, running back. Barry Sanders, I watched some of that. Obviously, it's a lot younger then, but I've been watching football and doing fantasy since really Barry Sanders. Like I played fantasy football during Barry Sanders' day. It's crazy. 2024, we had the tripod strategy. What is the move in 2026? I'll show you, my guy. This is the tripod.
The tripod strategy, inspired by pyramids in ancient Egypt, involves drafting running backs in rounds 1 and 2, followed by a quarterback in rounds 3 or 4, which can potentially turn the tripod into a quad pod.
Now, granted, you are not getting neighbors in 4. This is how crazy you were getting neighbors in 4. You were getting neighbors in 4-5. We tried to warn the world. The tripod was a league winner. We tried to warn the world. The world did not listen. Now he's a second-round pick. Unbelievable value. Just unbelievable. And AJB, same thing. He was a third and fourth round pick. We tried to warn the world. So I can't even put neighbors in this anymore because it's about the running back. But, again, it's a fun strategy, but really you got to take what the board gives you more than anything. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you very much. Daniel, the commander in the chat right now with a $5 super chat says, please let me call in to do a draft with you. I need to free my mind. Yeah, but I don't really want people calling in like, and they've been sipping on the grandpa's cough medicine. Like, that's got to stop. Like, you guys got to stop doing that on the phone line. Like, if anybody is doing that, they're not allowed on the phone line. So make sure you're good, Daniel. Let me know when that's not the case anymore, and I'll certainly open the phone line up to you, my boy. Rank Bowers, Achane, AJB, Henry, London, Nico, and Neighbors. I would say I'd probably go Bowers. Man, if this is redraft, I'll say Bowers, AJB, Neighbors, Achane tied. Achane, Neighbors, Achane, doesn't matter. And then London and Henry, whatever. Yeah, London, Henry, something like that. Okay, let me know if you're good and you can call in, Daniel. Just hang tight. But none of that talk or anything on my phone line, though. Rank Bowers, Achane, AJB, Henry. Oh, I just did that one. It's a good question, Rome. It's a good question. Okay, thank you, Daniel. Appreciate you. You can dial in if you want, if you're good. Thank you, Hammer, again for the double super chat. Simi Valley, thank you for the super chat. Any super chats that come in, I'll handle and order them once you receive. Thank you, Daniel the Commander, Rome, Daniel the Commander, Hawks, Jesse with a $20 super chat. Brent, appreciate you. John Savage, Mark, Ray G, Snap, and Mike, appreciate all you guys dropping the super chat. Appreciate you very much. All right, Daniel, open up your Underdog app and we'll join one in a minute. Okay.
Yeah, I had a question too when you get time. We get time there?
Yep. What's up?
Okay, so I was just wondering on your opinion on this. Would you take I don't know how to say his last name very good because of my accent, but Tyler Shuck of the Saints?
Yeah, I take him in best ball. I don't take him at 1 QB, but I take him in best ball. I like him in.
It's a trade.
Daniel, I can barely hear you, man. I don't know what's going on with your phone.
Hold on, I gotta take my case off.
I think it's
You have it better now?
no, it's worse.
It's worse.
Can you put it on speaker? Let's try you on speaker. But whatever you keep doing doesn't ever work, so we got to try something different. Put it on speaker.
Not better? Not better?
Lot better. Okay, for now, anyway. Okay.
Okay. Would you take Shuck and Cam Scatterboo or Dart and Etienne? So they basically trading quarterbacks and running backs from different teams.
Dart and Etienne. But I don't know. I don't really like. I don't know. I'd rather go a different direction at quarterback. If that's like my starter or something, I don't. But if it's a super, your mouth. Do you do something with the phone, Daniel? Like, do you like put it on your shoulder? Because
it's a super switch though.
But you do something with the phone, Daniel. You have to be doing, because you're fine, and then all of a sudden it goes. It's almost like you're putting it on your shoulder. Or you're doing something weird with it. You're putting it down on the desk.
For me, not. It might be because I live far out, so it might be. I don't know.
You're doing something to the speaker. It's something to the speaker, because it's fine, and then I don't know, you return to normal or habit or something, and your habit is what's causing it. It's either your palm, or it's the desk, or you're putting the speaker on something and it's muffling the hell out of it, because you're fine. Flip it up like this and set it down and keep your hands off it and put it on like the table or the bed or whatever. And
this is good right here.
A little bit better. All right, Daniel, open up Underdog. And let's go into. Let's do a puppy 3. A puppy 3, 20-second. You ready? You ready, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm ready now.
All right, hit it. All right. Phone lines are open. Dial in. If anybody has a question, we can tackle your question. Yeah, it's your phone, and then Rockout's reverb and your phone are the two anomalies on the channel. It's all right. We just can't listen back to the show. It sounds like you're in a submarine.
Because I literally got a brand new iPhone last week. So I don't know.
Parnell, Tate, or Washington. Honestly, that's another exactly dead even question. Like you're definitely, it's almost like you're grabbing the player like right next to the other player on ADP. It's crazy because it's like every time the question is so close. It's a good question. I probably lean toward I guess Parker Washington would be safer, and Tate would be higher risk, higher reward. Like Tate has the potential to be like BTJ's rookie year, maybe a little bit lesser than that, or he won't. Like, I'm not saying he will or he won't. It's not guaranteed. Parker Washington probably won't have the ceiling value. I get the 2 pick. He won't have the ceiling value that you know what I mean? Like it's not gonna. He's got a limit on him. Whereas Tate, we don't know what he is. We do know. I'm gonna go Jamar Chase here. We do know what the ceiling value of Parker Washington is. Like he's never gonna be a top 5 wide receiver. Not saying Tate will be, but you don't know that he can't be like top 5 to 10. Could be. Very well could be. Dial into the show, guys. Phone lines open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
All right, let's see here. Daniel, what pick did you get?
The 8 pick.
8 picks. You're on the clock right now. Who are you taking? Loveland and Warren over under 9.5 TDs. That's a close number because, like I said, I projected 7 to 12. So I don't know. I'd probably say your better bet is to go under just because of injuries and things like that. It's usually the safest avenue to take, but would I even go near that? Probably not, because I think Warren's so capable of it and Loveland's so capable of it. So I don't know if everybody could mute on the phone line, please. That's a tough call. You know, I think you're just better off staying away from that one because they're so capable of it. Hold on, Daniel, just mute yourself real quickly. I'll be right back around. Rock out. You were live, young man.
So around the 7-8 turn, I like taking St. Brown, but is there any reason for me to take like a JT or a Cook? I like St. Brown the best.
Preference, bro. I mean, just vary it up. There's definitely no answer to that question. St. Brown's one of the safest picks in fantasy after the big four, big five, really. I'd say big five. But doesn't mean I take him every time, though. And JT's fun to take right now. I'm really enjoying some of my JT teams right now because I haven't drafted a ton of JT until right now, this offseason. Because I wanted to see what Daniel Jones was going to look like, and he looks great. So it's not like JT's ADP's moved because of it. So I've been able to wait. Sometimes you're like, I can't wait because then the ADP will change and then I'll miss out. Well, JT, like Daniel Jones looks good and JT's right where he was. So it was a very smart maneuver on my part to wait, in my opinion, because nothing happened. I didn't lose out on an opportunity. Wait to see if AJB gets traded, and then he gets traded and he moves from 3.5 to 2.5 would be a stupid wait. But waiting on JT hasn't caused any effect at all. So no. It's been great. Hold on 1 second. Hammer will be right with you. All right, rock out. What? Rock out?
James Cook.
What about him?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
He goes around the same range.
Yeah. Yeah, and James Cook can't really climb much. He's so high as it is right now. All right, mute yourself, Rock. I'll be right with you. Hammer, you're live.
What's going on? Yeah, I still, from a few nights ago, you talked about, Chase Brown and Achane. I still take Chase Brown. Achane, clearly is the superior player and athlete, but I do think this is a season where I just don't know what the receiving looks like when Chris Bell's going to be healthy. I just feel like, they're going to still try and play the game. He is their offense, and whether the rushing is what it is. I think it's going to be forced to almost hit that 1,000-yard number. I don't think it's. It had 600. It's not that far fetched, and I don't really understand the whole check down. That doesn't really make all that much sense
we
to me.
don't know what Willis is. We have no idea what Willis is right now. For people to define him is just ridiculous. Willis didn't have a running back like Achane. How dumb is it to be he doesn't check down to Josh Jacobs? So same, and the game plan wasn't that way. It's not like Green Bay does that. It's like he goes out there and goes, you know what? I'm just going to call an audible here, and I'm just going to start checking down like a check down merchant. People are so dumb when they're like, oh, yeah, Achane's going to, it's ridiculous. It's such a negative thing to say about Achane and Malik Willis that has no merit whatsoever. Green Bay wasn't designed for that.
It's selling Achane short. It's almost like selling him short. It's I'm talking, he can run actual routes. It's not like he's just.
Or other running backs like Christian McCaffrey and others were capable of being in a bad offense and playing amazing football, but Achane can't. Yeah, whatever. Hang tight. Chuck Nasty, you can try calling in again. I missed clicking over on you. Better start 16-man league Puka, Kyron Adams, or Cook, Allen, Javonte. Warren Tootin in the 4-5, either way. So 16-man league, Puka, Kyron Adams, or Cook, Allen, Javonte. Give me, I don't know, that's pretty close. I know that quarterbacks it's gonna be a little easier to maybe wait on a QB. Let me emerge in Chuck Nasty. Chuck Nasty, mute yourself. I'll be right with you. This is tough because Cook, Allen, and Javonte score so many points. I'm not worried about that whole you punt quarterback downstream and you'll get another one. In this kind of league, in a 16-man league, Josh Allen's carrying you. So he's almost more valuable in my mind. Even though in general I would wait on a quarterback if I'm not getting Allen or May. I think I probably would. And Burrow I'd probably grab too. But other than that, Allen's going to be such a staple for you. Now, I will say I like Cook, Allen, and maybe you explore another player other than Javonte, but I love that start better. That's the start I want. Hold on 1 second, boys. I'm on the clock here. Let me just make this selection real quickly. I was going to time out, so I just swipe real quickly. I love Hendy and Jeremiah Love together. High risk, high reward with my RB2, but man, is it high reward. Just massive reward. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Hendy there. And then I was going to go Bucky. I like JMO if I need a wide receiver, but I'm pretty balanced, so I'm kind of okay doing anything here. Colston Loveland's here if I wanted to go Colston Loveland, which is a really, really nice selection here, given that... I mean, Hammer, Loveland or Bucky or... let's see here. I'm gonna try Loveland here because I don't have this combination. So I got Jamar Chase, Jeremiah Love, Rashee Rice, Trey Henderson, Colston Loveland. That's pretty good. Very balanced. Yeah, I like that. And I still think Loveland, while Burden expected is the key word, is not guaranteed to be back for week 1, but will he be hampered? Will he be out of shape? Will he be prone to re-injury? All those things. Loveland still goes up because he's preparing more than he was. He's being architected into the offense more than he was. He's establishing more rapport with Caleb than he was because he's still establishing rapport. He didn't start all year, didn't play, high volume, high octane all year. So this is a key offseason for Loveland. He's going to get peppered in the offseason here. And so he's going to go up in value. So that's a really, really good pick. All right, Hammer, what else you got? And let me circle around the phone line. You can definitely stay on the phone, but...
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, let me see if I've got any other super chats that need handling. I think we're good. Thank you for the super chat, Calvin. Appreciate you. 16-man league. Don't hesitate on Josh Allen. All right, circling around the phone line here. 916, then I'm going to go to 717, and then I'll go over to Chuck Nasty. So 916, you're live. Everybody else, please mute in if you can.
Hey, Smitty.
Yo.
Hey, quick question is random as hell. So, the last time you won a championship, who was your league winner on your team?
Who's my league winner? I mean, I don't know. I win championships every year. So I mean, Bijan last year on a handful of teams. I had Gibson won, but I mean, I think Josh Allen on one. Wow, what's up?
Oh man, I didn't know you won that many like that. All right.
Well, I play in a lot of leagues. I'm not trying to like completely pat myself on the back because I play in a lot of leagues. I'm unfortunately in tons of leagues, bro. But yeah,
right, bro, keep up with the show, man.
And my best ball mania team that was in the inside the top 1% had Burrow, Bijan, JSN, McBride. Damn it, who's the other running back? Hammer, I've told you that team a bunch, showed you that team a bunch of times. Who else? It was Michael Wilson, Manungai, Burden, McBride.
T. Higgins.
No, it wasn't T. Higgins. It was someone like that, though. There was an extra player. But anyway, it was a great team. I loved it. Fantastic team. All right, my man. Call back if you got another one. Appreciate you. All right, 717, you are live, young man.
What's up, Smitty?
What's up?
Hey, I just did a draft on Saturday. It was a 12-team PPR league, and I got offered a tight end for wide receiver trade. I was wondering if I told you my wide receivers and tight ends, if you could give me your opinion on the trade.
Yes, go ahead and tell me your wide receivers and hit me with it.
Okay. So I have at wide receiver Garrett Wilson, Ladd McConkey, Roma Dunze, Parker Washington, and Matthew Golden. And my tight ends are pretty rough, dude. I've got Kenyon Sadiq and Aronde Gadsden.
That's not too bad.
Well, yeah. And I do have CMC and Saquon at running back, so. But I just don't like that tight end position, and I got offered Isaiah Likely for Parker Washington. Would you do that?
No. I like Isaiah Likely a lot.
No?
I like Isaiah Likely a lot, but, bro, Gadsden still has real big potential. I'm not saying he's a lock. He's kind of a risky play. Sadiq is a little risky, but has a high upside when he gets healthy. but P. Wash is pretty steady. I feel like you could get a lot more than that. Likely, look at the ADPs, bro. I mean, you got to look at ADP when you're making trades like this. You gotta say to yourself, where's Likely going? I don't even know if he's on. I don't think he's on this board at all.
I got Parker Washington at the 7-8 turn, and Likely went in the 10th round in my league.
Is it tight end premium?
It is not, man. For some reason, I got shut out on my league mates went crazy on backup tight ends in the 10th and 11th, and I wasn't reaching for anybody.
I get it.
I took Jonathan.
I get it, but why would you trade it?
Jonathan Brooks in the 10th over Likely because
why would you take
running back was the better play.
Why would you take a 10th round tight end for your 7th round wide receiver, though?
Yeah, I get you, man. So you think I should just see, and also Dulcich is available, and I'm slightly interested in him, just wanting to keep an eye on him. So part of me is thinking I should just kind of wait it out.
Parker Washington has 6.3 ADP right here. Like you trade for. I love Likely, but go after Fannin if you're gonna go after Warren's in the same round. You could get Tyler Warren, the number 3 tight end for Parker Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey, thank you for the advice. Great show, man.
All right. Appreciate you, bro. Later.
Have a good night. Later.
Bizarro land, I tell you. Chuck Nasty, you're live. Wasting my marker.
Smitty, how's it going?
That boy's wasting my marker. All right. Go ahead, Chuck Nasty.
Yeah, my first few picks on the underdog are CeeDee Lamb, Achane, Brees Hall.
I can barely hear you. Chuck Nasty. Chuck Nasty, can you hear me? Chuck, can you hear me?
Hey, sorry about that, Smitty.
Okay.
My bad. You there?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
You and are you on Daniel the Commander's phone? You on 3-way?
I was on my headset. Yeah.
All right.
I was on Daniel the Commander.
You and Daniel.
It was.
You keep rinsing and repeating the low volume frequencies. But go ahead.
I know.
All right. What can I hear? What can I do for you?
Just my underdog. My first picks are Lamb, Achane, Brees Hall, Tet, Warren, and Drake May.
I like that. It's really good.
From the
spot. I'm not the biggest Tet McMillan fan, but I appreciate that value. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not a Tet McMillan hater by any means. I just think sometimes people will draft him a little too high because I think Jalen Coker is good. I'm not going to even say what I'm thinking, but Jalen Coker will be more of a problem than I think people assume. I like Tet, but Tet going at like 3.10, 3 points, ridiculous. But fourth round, anywhere in the mid fourth round to late fourth round, especially, is perfect.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that. That's when I like Tet.
Yeah, I've been seeing Loveland go. I think he's more or less staying at that 4 point, which is totally fine, which is great. I don't think news has caught up crazy on him, with the with the Burden stuff. But I mean, I'd probably take Loveland over Tet, but I need your receiver, so yeah.
I was kind of timing out. I don't know what I think about Worthy. I'm torn on whether Worthy's even valuable at all, but I went ahead and took Worthy because I was going to time out. I got Mahomes, so. All right, hold on, my boy. What other question did you have?
Oh, nothing. You can go over the other callers real quick.
All right, hang tight real quick. Let me go back over to Rock Out, then to Hammer. Rock Out, go ahead.
Can I give you my team so far?
Give me the starters because I'm not going to be able to retain it all while I'm drafting.
It's not full, but I got Gibbs, Tuden, Irving, Pickens, Rice.
Yeah, that's really good. This team right here is Chase, Love, Rice, Hendy, Loveland, MHJ, Jonathan Brooks, Mahomes, Xavier Worthy. Not bad. Mind you, I'm drafting with my people, so it kind of gets slim pickings. This two spot would have been nice without some snipage. It would have been really, really good. Everybody gets pulled up a lot, so it's hard to look at Parker Washington in round 5. Look at Tyler Warren in round 5. Everyone gets pulled up. Everyone gets pulled up. Where did Drake May go? Drake May went in 5. You guys are all, look at Achane. Achane after the talk tonight goes at 12, 13. Like it just we could come in here and we could talk about Xavier Worthy being a monster league winner, and he'd go tonight in the 6th round. Hammer, you're live. Nice job, Rockout.
I was just gonna talk about I don't know the extent of burdens, but I kind of feel bad. I think this almost more than any player was the most crucial off season for him, especially the way he the buzz that was coming out and kind of an opportunity to kind of separate. So kind of stinks for him. But again, I'm not going to speculate if he's going to be there week 1 or not. I have no idea. But just that off season itself, unfortunately, it's big.
Yeah, I think he'll still do well. I don't think he'll be bad at all. But this is definitely, he had a leg up on a Dunze probably. And then now you don't know. It's very much up in the air. And I think that Burden could be a little bit disappointing if you keep him where he's been going. So mid 4, early 4, that's just too early. Right here, he's going mid 4. I don't hate it. I still think he can earn it. But I don't think it's the value that some other players might hold there. But it's still not horrible. Like, it's not league losing or anything. I don't think anybody should be taking a lap by drafting Burden there. But I definitely think it's interesting. And Colston Loveland, where are you ranking him right now? I don't think he should also be pulled up too high, but I think it's understandable to think he's going to have a nice edge on what he would have had.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you where Warren went. I'm looking at the board right now. So I guess Loveland and Warren went in the same round.
Yeah.
I think Loveland obviously is the biggest benefactor of it all. I mean, everyone goes up, but him especially. I think he is going to have a really, really good season. But again, I still, you would say I have to, but I'm taking Tyler Warren over Loveland. With Danny Dimes missing 70 games, Tyler Warren had over 800 yards. Unless I'm missing something,
I timed out. You didn't miss anything. I just timed out. If I got a pat on the back for every timeout I had, I'd have a bruised shoulder. But the cost of drafting and doing this all in a live stream, jeez. All right. I think like you look at Tyler Warren going here, he's got a 2-round gap, and this doesn't even show a full round. So this is not telling of where Warren really goes. Like, that's what kind of sucks about when we draft, is we don't match ADP at all. It's fun. It's fun for the 11 people that are in it with me, but the people that watch why I do a lot of drafts, or at least do one without you guys, and then I do one with you because I know you want to get in, is because it helps no one. It's fun. The commentary is good. The phone calls, all that. But I mean, the board itself doesn't help anybody other than to see what I'm maneuvering and doing, I suppose. So I guess it's helpful. But looking at the board, you can't use it. You can't say, oh, it's cool where Warren went. It's relevant. Like, Warren's not going there. Parker Washington's not going there. Bashal Tutin's not going in the 4th round. So none of it makes sense. It's bizarro. So that's why if anybody gets mad because I draft, first of all, it's hard to get into the draft. So it's not like a lot of you aren't missing out anyway because you would have missed out getting in it. But it's just the draft doesn't even look normal. And then I timed out on damn Kyler Murray. Jeez. Disaster. Might have just tanked the whole team. But it is funny watching all your players that you love just get boom, 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 boom. It really prepares you for the real deal. I'm at a draft right now, a buddy draft, and it's such a glorious feeling knowing that, no one knows what you're. I mean, I guess they watch what I do, but I know a lot of them don't have time in this particular league, and so I feel a little free when I'm drafting. Whereas here, I'm wearing everything on my forehead. I've got a card on my forehead that just changes to the player I'm about to pick.
Yep. One last thing, and then I'll hop off. Like if things in Minnesota, like the current state, like we don't see really anything all that promising. Like if you are at that last pick and you're looking, at the wide receivers, because then you have a fair amount of time, obviously, to wait. Would it be crazy to take an AJB or a Pickens, like in hand with I think it's like a Chase Brown over a JJ?
No, not crazy at all. I think there's some differences between managed and best ball. Best ball, you can't trade. You need different variants of things. You see other people do it all the time. Experienced drafters will go, instead of, let's say, neighbors, in the middle of 2, they get a 12 pick, and you build a team from the 12 pick differently than you ever are going to see from the 6 pick. So having neighbors in that group is a good once in a while thing to do. I'm not saying anybody should go take neighbors at 12. You're going to ruin his ADP. But once in a while, it's fine. And the same thing goes for Chase Brown. Chase Brown's going right. Let me just scroll back up. If Chase Brown's going right here at the hold on, at the top, where did Chase Brown go in this draft? He went.
I think he went
12. Yeah,
12.
That's going to happen often when we draft together. But if he's going right here, that's not a big move. And AJB, honestly, AJB and Chase Brown, you're talking about 2 players that, honestly, one is a first round grade, even though he goes in round 2. I'm fine with it. It's fine. Just don't do a lot of it. I would say you're also passing on JT, you're passing on Genty, you're passing on St. Brown, you got a lot, CeeDee Lamb, you got a lot of opportunities to grab some awesome combos. I'll do a super for a weekly winners after this. Okay, Daniel. I think I could maybe potentially. What I'll do is the extenders could keep it going for as long as that extender is. I'm not doing a super chat for a draft. It's just super chat for more time, and however much time that gives us on a draft, it gives us. So yeah, definitely we can do that. All right, let me scroll down here real quickly. My team so far, other than freaking timing out on mother freaking Kyler Murray, it still looks pretty good. I got Mahomes, Kyler, hate that pick. Jeremiah Love, Hendy, Brooks, and Tank Bigsby. Pretty good running back stable to go with Mahomes. And then Jamar Chase, Rashee Rice, MHJ, Xavier Worthy, Deebo Samuel, Travis Hunter, Colston Loveland. I kind of like that. I screwed up on the Kyler pick, and I still love the team. That's really good. Loveland with Chase and Rice and Marv and Deebo. Jeremiah Love, Trey Henderson, Jonathan Brooks, Mahomes. I like that. It's really, really good on the clock here.
I actually like that. Tank Bigsby might be the most. I think that pick might be one of the best.
Yeah, I love Tank Bigsby. This pick, God, it's so hard to know who's drafting in the 1 pick. I don't know if this guy's taking my guy. I'm just going to do it now. It doesn't matter. Wait 2 picks. I just want to have the entire Chiefs receiving room. So Mahomes, Cyrus Allen, Rice, and Worthy, which is kind of cool. It's kind of a really cool situation. So my receiver room is pretty much done. Chase, Rice, MHJ, Worthy, Deebo, Hunter, Cyrus Allen. Actually, it's absolutely done. Quarterbacks, I could use another quarterback because I got Kyler. So Mendoza maybe. I guess. I don't know. I think he'll be there at the end. and that's what I need. I would take Brissett, but then I got to take Beck, and I don't know that I want to do both because then I'll have 4 quarterbacks. I'm going to go Mendoza. I've already got Kyler. Kyler, Mendoza, Mahomes should be pretty decent. And the bye weeks are all different. So I'm done at quarterback. I'm done at wide receiver. I got Colston Loveland only. Part of me is thinking, I do this quite a bit. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I do this quite a bit. I eat the bye week sometimes and attempt to just gain more players to try and hit home runs throughout the week. And by doing that, yes, you're getting 0 points, but you got to also think about like the tight ends around right now might get 2 or 3 points. You know, so if I get a backup tight end that gets 2 or 3 points, 3 points, 4 points, whatever, if I take another Bigsby type player, am I potentially squeaking out another 10 or 15 points throughout the season to account for losing that 2 or 3? So the thinking is if I get like Cole Kmet type player, you know, with if I take Cole Kmet with my Colston Loveland, you know, I'm not saying it's the best strategy in the world, but it's a unique one that gives me and secures me the volume. And look, if Loveland went down, Kmet would probably do well. I mean, look what he did in the playoffs. He's definitely utilized. I don't know. The other thing that I would potentially do here is yeah, there's a certain tight end that I might just take just because I like the value. Maybe.
But that's all I have. You can you can go ahead around. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Hammer. You can stay on the line if you want to, or call back, whatever works for you.
Nice.
Rock out. Where did Daniel the Commander must have hung up a while ago? I think he just wanted to get in the draft. But Daniel, I could definitely. Extend whatever you do to do another draft for as long as that extender is. No problem. That's the way we're going to operate moving forward. Is just whatever time. And I haven't put an extender time up. I'm not trying to like make a short show or something. Like we've been live for an hour and a half practically. And so the timer will be thrown on screen in a minute. Extenders will extend the show. If we got enough time, we most certainly could dial in another draft. Let's go with a good old. Rock out. What else you got?
Who's your risk it for the biscuit players? Like people you're like super like maybe feel like it's super risky but might pan out.
Hammer dropping hold on one second. Hammer dropping a $20 super chat to help contribute
the show has just been extended 5 minutes due to a $20 super chat.
To extending the show for yet another draft
Beautiful.
to go along with Daniel, what Daniel's attempting to do to keep the drafts going. Thank you. Appreciate you, young man, for dropping that hammer to the mother freaking moon tonight. And let me answer your question, Rock Out, real quickly. Man, it's pouring rain outside.
Oh man.
Where's the message? Why is this message not popping up? Come on.
It was raining earlier over here too.
Draft. Risk it for the biscuit. So define that real quickly.
Yeah.
Is that a first rounder, second rounder? Is it a guy I'm drafting continuously around 5?
Let's say like a first or second rounder.
I mean, I'll draft Gibbs every time I have the 1 pick.
No, we're really call that too risky.
Yeah, so it's not risky, but I'm just saying like the risk is in the first round is that I won't stop drafting him. I would say Genty earlier than expected, like 6, 7, 8. JSN, wherever he is past the big 4. So if JSN's there at 5, I'm taking him every time. 6, taking him every time. I would say the biggest risk would be Genty.
Any players similar to like CMC, but you feel better about?
What do you mean? Like Henry, Barkley, CMC, like the injury risky players?
Yeah.
I guess I'd feel the most good about Henry. Adams and Evans. Henry, Adams, and Evans. Rock out. I'm going to have to restart the phone line in a minute, so let me click
no
off
problem.
this real quick. Hammer, I'm going to have to restart the phone line. I'll restart it after the Genty video. So once the Genty video is over, the phone line it'll be relaunched by then. And I'll go grab a drink. The Genty video will play. And then once it's over, you guys can just wait like another 30 seconds to a minute, and then you guys can all call back in. Chuck Nasty, same thing to you, okay? So I'm going to hang up on everybody right now, but please call back. And Hammer, you're more than welcome to call back in, and we'll do a draft. And you'll want to be on the phone line anyway, so you can get in. All right, so call back, boys, right after the Genty video.
Appreciate it.
All right, let me restart that. So everybody's hang tight. This pick right here, I will make, and then let me throw the video up of Genty real quickly. Here you go.
Hey, are you currently sitting at home and wondering, why am I such a loser? Why do I not know how to get chicks? Well, there is a solution. Draft Ashton Genty in your upcoming fantasy football drafts, and you'll immediately start growing hair on your chest. Those little testicles of yours will finally drop, and even though you still live in your mom's basement, you're going to immediately start getting hot chicks, all because you drafted Ashton Genty. Now, do you want to be this guy? Hi, I'm worried William, and my mommy just warmed me up a hot pocket, and I've never even talked to a hot chick. Or this guy. Hey, I'm Dom, and I drive fast cars, get hot chicks, and draft Ashton Genty double fist style with 2 cell phones at the same time. Why do I have 2 cell phones? One for looking up Ashton Genty stats all day, the other is for getting chicks. All right, put down the Hot Pocket Petrified Pita and start smashing Genty ADP, and watch less Thundercats reruns and more of the Fantasy Football Show with Smitty, you bozo.
Leave it on the fields.
Just in time.
Fields of dreams.
Wrong. That loaded like out of nowhere. Sometimes they glitch and it loads something and leave it on the fields just in time. Fields, remember that. All right. So Hammer dropped the super chat extender. Daniel, appreciate you dropping the IL super chat. If we do another AMC, drafted my first 18-man guillotine league. Wild draft from the 17th spot. Achane, AJB, Buka, Tyler Warren, Dart. Yeah. Yeah, that could work. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. AJB, Achane's fantastic. Buka, Warren's, I don't know if it was tight end premium or if anything, but if that was what you took in. If you take Warren at 4, I love Warren, but that 4 would be early. All right. You forgot. Buka video is my favorite. Yeah. We're waiting on the Buka one. All right. Go ahead and dial into the phone line, and then we'll go ahead and potentially we got a timer on screen. I'm gonna put the timer up, and then we're gonna draft for as long as we stay live via the timer. We can talk whatever you want. Anybody that extends the show can change the topic of the show while we are drafting. So Chuck Nasty's dialing in. I got Chuck Nasty on the line. Open up your Underdog app, Chuck Nasty, and just sit there in the lobby and we will decide. I think we're doing a weekly winner. So pull up weekly winners. Daniel is getting on the phone line right now. Don't click it yet, but pull up weekly winners. Just sit there. Don't click anything. We're going to wait for Hammer to call in. And Travis, you're free to call in if you don't want to, no problem. Travis is always calling in on the phone line, so he needs some days where he's just relaxing. Poor guy. Travis. Appreciate all of Travis's hard work. Appreciate Blackbeard, always in the shadows. Sick Nasty, Aldi, Simi Valley, DeBalt, Vampy. Appreciate all of you guys. Hammer, you dialing in? There he is. Okay, Hammer, we got you here. Everybody pull up the weekly winners contest and just sit there, okay, for a second. We got an extender right here. Don't press anything yet. Street, appreciate you dropping the $20 super chat extender. That puts us now at 13 minutes.
5-minute extender.
The show has just been extended 5 minutes due to a $20 super chat.
That's 13. I think Daniel said he was dropping one. Never expected, always appreciated. Thank you very much. Daniel, the commander. All right, so we're sitting here, and what I'm going to do, boys, is everybody be ready. Hammer, don't do it right this second, but yell out go and hit the button, and we're all going to hit it when Hammer says it. That way it's random, and we can all kind of get in, because it's hard to get in otherwise. Let me see if I can pull up. So everybody be ready. Here's the super chat.
All right, go.
4 more to start. I imagine we're in the same one. 3 more. Okay, yeah. 1. Lift off.
All right, I think I got him. I'll sit here.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah, Fantasy Football Show. Oh, picking 1. Oh, shit. Crap, sorry.
I think Daniel dipped out as soon as he got in. He's like, I'm out of here. Daniel needs to focus. Hammer, you're in the what spot? Hammer's in the 5. I'm in the 4. Hammer's in the 5. Who's on the phone line? Chuck Nasty. Chuck Nasty, you're in the 1?
Yeah, I'm messaging you.
Okay.
The random username, so I'll have to change that.
All right, Smitty, what's your take on all these experts saying got to take 2 running backs before you leave the 3rd round this year? I mean, bro, we've been. Thank you for the $20 super chat, by the way. Again, let me add this caller real quick. Caller, mute yourself. I'll be right with you. Just please hit mute. Thank you. I mean, bro, don't you remember? Like you say that, and not the 10 pick, says Daniel. You say that, but like, don't you remember last year? I don't know if you were here last year and the year prior. How many people would call up to this show and go, "You're not following the best ball protocol, going RB." We were the only content creator that was telling people to draft running back in best ball. The only one. I mean, practically. Because we would get reamed by it. People call in and go, "You don't know best ball. You obviously don't know best ball. You need to take wide receiver. You need 3 wide receivers in the first 5 rounds or you can't win." Like, we heard that. We heard everything. We were the kings of taking running back. And I believe that year running back won Best Ball Mania, by the way. And so is it a surprise that everybody's taking running back? No, not at all. But do you need to do it? No. You take best player available, because every draft slot is going to be different. Every draft slot is going to feed you something unique. And if you're taking a position, those of you that follow me all the time, you hear me say this every day, like 50 times, and people will still be like, "Do I go running back?" Like, it doesn't fail. Like 10 minutes from now, someone's going to say, "Should I take wide receiver?" And I'm going to continuously say, you don't take positions, you draft players. And that's the problem with all and I do the videos for it because I know you guys love it. And it's important to know the strategies. But this is why it's kind of wild when people are like, you got to go hero RB. You got to go zero RB. You got to go, wide receiver heavy. You got to go robust RB. You don't have to do anything. And just because you won with something last year doesn't mean you rinse and repeat it. You take what the board gives you. And if you know how to draft hero RB, then if the board gives you hero RB, you're going to crush it. If you know how to draft zero RB and the board gives you zero RB, you're going to crush it. So the sub strategy is brought to you and you take the best player available, not what's on the auto draft pre-rank list. I'm saying who you determine, your determination, which is the hard part because you could be wrong, but your determination who is the best pick available. To not draft best player available, and best player available can be nudged a little bit when all things are really damn close to equal. You're fine. You can go position specific. You don't have to. I'm gonna go. Brock Bowers, do it live.
Nice.
Puka and Bowers is disgusting. I don't know how many times, Daniel, thank you for the $20 extender. Daniel, appreciate you very much. That puts us back at 13 minutes again. And 20 seconds. Thank you, Daniel, the commander, for dropping the extender, my man.
5-minute extender.
Hammer, walk me through your 2 picks that you've taken so far.
I mean, I took St. Brown early, I guess, by ADP and how everyone else drafts. I just don't really love JSN, and with that spot, I was kind of hoping an RB would kind of land that I liked, but it didn't, so I just smashed Pickens.
You're going to get Rashee Rice. You're going to be happy. Although it's a wild build. This is where best player. I mean, you don't have to take him. There's other players, but okay, Breece Hall. This is where you can nudge that in a different direction because he is in need for running back. Running back flips into being a very focal point of being best player available. So, your take on all these experts. Thank you again, D Street, for dropping that super chat. But yes, it's, it also depends on what you mean by experts. Daniel, thank you again for that super chat. CD and Jeddah's G's. Is that what you got? Okay, so you're in the 10 pick. He's about to draft right now. This is Daniel, the commander, on the clock, doing it live. I like my team, Puka, Bowers, and Jeremiah Love. Very, very solid, very balanced. I always try and draft best player available balanced. And Love and Rice were both pretty much best player available to me at that point. And I said to myself, I'm going to nudge this in the favor of RB because it helps my team more. So Love became the best player available to me. Daniel took my least favorite pick. But you're lucky he fell this far because of all the negativity by me on the channel. Devontae Smith. Flowers and Devontae Smith, like no one touches him. I had one guy call into the show and he accused me of creating all my content to drive player values down so I could draft against people. And then so he was like, he was such a hater. He was on the phone line screaming and yelling. And I was like, I was just sitting there going, okay, explain to me something. If that's the case, have you ever seen me, like in the case of Devontae Smith and Flowers, if I was trying to drive the price down with my own audience, have you seen me draft Devontae Smith or Flowers in the drafts that we're in? No. So how, like, he made no sense where he's just going off on me on the phone line and everyone's just laughing because he made no sense at all. It's like, bro, in order for that to be true, I'd have to take them. And I never take them. So what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, but you'll take them off the show. I'm like, I'm not drafting with the people off the show. I'm drafting with randoms that are taking Devontae Smith here. Like, he was so off his rocker. Everybody's like, this guy doesn't understand. He just doesn't understand. Why does David Montgomery not have a photo? That's weird. That's strange. Ooh. You know, what do I do here? This is weekly winners. I'm going to go Lamar.
Good pick.
I mean, I technically easily have the capability of having the best quarterback in many given weeks, you know, and the best tight end maybe every week, but in many given weeks, and the best wide receiver in many given weeks. So this tripod's pretty like crazy good.
Right.
Love the Hendy upside. Hall, I'm starting to really like Breece Hall more and more. I might do a video tomorrow. The positive talk was needed for me to buy in. You know, I'm not going to be ahead of the curve on everything. Sometimes I need to wait for information. Like in terms of Breece Hall, I needed to hear some positive stuff. I just wasn't excited about the way they talked about him earlier, which still concerns me a little bit because they were like talking about a 3-headed monster all off season. And then now they're like, we're going to feed Breece Hall a lot. And, you know, now that we're paying him, he's going to get workhorse volume. It's like, okay, pick which one you mean, though, because it does concern me that you said both. But I did need that. And, you know, and now I'm back on, but I'm fully admitting I'm not somebody that's been sitting there all offseason on the Breece Hall train. But it does feel pretty good right now. It feels like it's a very solid. I'm going to go Mike Evans. Pretty good squad.
Like that pick.
Yeah, it's a really good team.
I don't know about team for number one. It's okay.
Team 1, May, Tootin, a little early on some of that, but like it's weekly, so they go a little higher too.
Yeah.
They wouldn't come back to you, so it's understandable.
Yeah.
Trey McBride, Neighbor. Yeah, your team's great, bro. I mean, that's going to be a fire team. I like the team a lot. Team 2, London, Collins, Swift, Burden, Bijan. Not bad. Chase, Henry, Javonte, Adams, Waddle. Those are the kind of teams, though, that can win the 20,000 weekly winner contest, though. Like, you got to remember, this is not a take it the distance 14 weeks and you go into the playoffs and you make it to the playoffs and you got to win the playoffs. This is a reset league. Every week, no one gets nudged out. It's not a guillotine. But every week, the highest scorer wins $20,000. The second highest wins 10. The third wins 9. The fourth wins 8. And so on. And every week starts over. No week is tied to another. There's no playoffs. There's just 17 individual contests where you don't get to add drop or you're not responsible for your lineup. You draft one time. You try and plan for all the scenarios. You can draft entirely around Buy-Mageddon to try and win the 20K in Buy-Mageddon. You can do whatever the hell you want. Joe Burrow is a good value considering all these quarterbacks are going so early.
That's a pick.
Daniel, the commander, has Scattaboo, Price, Devontae Smith, J.J. Lamb. I don't hate that. Tyler Warren fell to a pretty decent value. See, Tyler Warren falling to 6 is understandable. That's where you should go, and I love him there. I timed out, was debating between Etienne and Ladd. Thank you, Daniel, the commander. Appreciate you. Jalen Hurts. Where'd JD5 go? Why didn't Daniel, the commander, take JD5? Daniel, speak up, my man. What are you doing? I'm surprised he didn't. J-Mo, DJ Moore, Olave. Loveland, Allen. Okay. McCaffrey. Hammer's on the clock now. Got a good looking squad there. BTJ, nice pick. I think I'm going to roll with, man, Jordan Tyson's got lots of upside. I'm going to cue him in case I time out. Yeah, we're going to let a Q out on Tyson. Tyson's got a lot of weekly winner upside, in my opinion. He looks so good right now, too. Tate and Tyson look phenomenal. There really is a chance that these two guys end up becoming like, trying to think of a good example.
Let me go.
I think they could become, one of them can become Nico good. The other one could become Nico good as well or higher. I don't think both of them will be top 5, but I think one of them could be certainly could be 5 to 12. It's a big range. Can't guarantee. I'm not going to say top 10 to 12. I'm like 5 to 12 or top 5 to 8 or something. Yeah, like your team, bro. Kraft doubling up at tight end could work, could not work. Kind of depends.
Get
two wide receivers.
Smitty, what do you think of the 7th spot?
7th spot. Who's this?
This is Eric from Wisconsin. I call you every
Okay.
couple nights, and I send some super chats to you too. But
Thank you.
I'm at the 7th spot with you right now. I got
Okay.
JSN in the 7th too. I was kind of surprised he fell that far.
Yeah, let me look at it real quick. So you got JSN, Walker, Igbuka, Garrett Wilson, Bucky, JD5. I like it, bro. That's really good. It's a very, very good team. Very much my cup of tea. Like, not even a single pick I don't like. And I'm really starting to like Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall more. Hearing good things about Geno. We fell for that last year, but it was a very different situation. And I'm not thinking Geno's like self-sustaining a good player, even like super flex player, but like the ability to just, sling the ball around is all we're needing to happen. Keep defenses as much honest as you can, and then let Breece Hall kind of wheel and deal. So feeling a little bit better about Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. I am, especially given the comments yesterday, which we'll probably do a show on tomorrow. Regarding, Breece Hall getting more and more and more work. So I took Brooks. I got Brooks and Love as my 2 running backs. I got Nakua, Evans, and Tyson as my receivers. I got Lamar and Bowers at quarterback and tight end. Feel pretty good about it. It's a good squad. And then I need a flex play. And then the lineup's good, The lineup is good to go at that point. Flex play, good to go. And you're typically going to win the weekly winners with a majority of your first 8 picks. You're not, certainly like, let's say Brooks would have gotten hurt. I grabbed, let's say I would have grabbed Harvey. Let's say I grabbed Harvey here. Brooks gets hurt, and then Harvey goes in. Like, you can easily win the 20K if they all go crazy and you have that support. Let's say I drafted, I don't know, Jacoby Myers or something, and Evans gets hurt. Like, one player substitution, that team could win 20K, like, certainly. But you can't really like lose Puka Nacua or Bowers or Lamar, and that's kind of why I don't really focus on drafting the same kind of team where it's like completely backed up and looks exactly the same. 3 quarterbacks, 3 tight ends. I'll literally sometimes just grab another quarterback just in case my team goes crazy. Lamar has a horrible game or is hurt or on a bye. And that week I'm like, I was so close to winning tons of money, but I didn't have an extra quarterback. So I back up, but not like massively. I'm not like extremely worried about it. Like, I need another quarterback. I was going to go Mahomes, but I feel like Stafford and weeklies is a little bit better shot at having like that, because the way they're on a mission, man. They're on a mission. He's going to have big games. He could get hurt at any moment, but there's some massive touchdown production. Like a couple, 3 or 4 touchdown games. I think Mahomes will be very, very efficient, but I don't know that he'll have as much. I mean, it's hard to say. I think Stafford has a better chance of getting hurt, but.
All right, what do we do here? That's just Sutton.
I like that pick a lot.
Rashad White.
Sutton's a great pick.
He's gonna ball.
I think so.
He's just like, obviously, whenever Bo looks downfield, the first player he looks to is Sutton.
I guess I could use another. Man, I don't know what to do here. It's so dried up. There's like nothing left. Hammer, how do you like your team right here? Nice pick. Is Hammer on the line?
Yeah, I never really drafted it like the 4 or 5. I don't know if I love the spot, but I don't know. I like where I got Herbert.
Yeah. This is the craziest thing because, like, again, you'll pull up a weekly winner team, and the one that won it, and you'll look at it and you'll be like, "Wow, this is definitely not like the team you would expect to have won weekly winners." Not that it's ever bad; it's just, you know, ends up being like a. Let me. No offense to anybody if I pull your team up, but let's see if I can find somebody. Like, let me go to this 11 spot, which I don't love. It doesn't have the players. It's not the draft style I would draft. But Genty, Barkley, Zay Flowers, Higgins, Adunze, McLaurin, like that's not a team that has a shot in hell of winning Best Ball Mania or any of the longer tournaments that require getting in the playoffs and winning 3 straight games. But that is the kind of team, any one of these teams that can win the weekly winner 20K. Because all it takes is Flowers. I mean, think about it. Flowers, Higgins, and Adunze, McLaurin, 3 of those guys could easily have that big game at the same time. And you're like, oh, that's crazy. Like, that's the way a weekly winners is. It's nuts. But the one thing you do need is the majority of your top players to score. It's just hard to do it otherwise because you got to be perfect. Because you're not in Best Ball Mania, you're never going against more than like a handful of like 300, 400 people. You never. In fact, you're never going against even more than 10 to 16 people until the final round. So while Best Ball Mania seems very daunting, you're going up against, I forget how many people that are in it. If it's 400,000 or whatever, 500, I forget what it is. It's daunting. You think about it. It's daunting to go up against that many people, but you're really only going up against the 11 that you drafted with for 14 weeks to advance to the next round of, I think, 8 or 12 or 16, I forget. Then so you're going up against the most, I think 16, depends on the tournament, but if it's best ball, I forget if it's 12 or 16. And then you're just going up against them, and then you go into the last round where you're in like a pool of like 300 or 400 or 500 people. I forget how many numbers are in there, and that's it. Like, you're never going up against, a crazy amount of people.
Smitty, is it all right if I ask you a question quick?
I gotta go, Jonah Coleman. I don't think he'll make it back to you anyway, Hammer. What? Yeah, what's the question?
So, you know how in best ball there's, like you were saying, any team could win in weekly winners?
Yeah.
Would you draft a little differently? Like, let's say, because I just drafted like Dart, you know what I mean? But I really wanted Likely for the connection, because if Likely has a big game, then Dart has a big game. So do you kind of go a little bit more towards the connections and like weekly winners? Because, you know what I mean? Because then
it's always a factor. Yeah, but don't listen to everybody that says that that's the way you got to do it, because there's still just as big a chance that you have Josh Allen throw 4 touchdowns, Jamar Chase scores 150, has 150 yards and 1 score, and Joe Burrow has 1 touchdown instead of Jamar Chase. Like, you can't. Too many people make too much of that. It's kind of nonsensical, bro. It's kind of annoying.
I agree, but a lot of people like to go for the connection, but I figured in weekly winners it might be a little bit more.
I mean, bro, there's a slight advantage, obviously, that in likelihood of advancement, but you got to also take into account where's that data, how's that data really looking when you dig into it. If everybody in here is trying to stack, right? Look at all these teams. People are stacking all the time something, right? Because they're told to. So if 8 to 10 people out of every draft are stacking, what are the odds that the winning team's going to have a stack? Because everyone's doing it. So there's so much different data to it than you think that you can't even quantify or examine or break down. So the truth is, draft the best players. Draft the best players. If the connection is the best combination that you could draft it. If it's not, don't take the stack because they're stacked. That's a ridiculous notion. And it's backed up by kind of faulty data that is compiled because you have a majority of people stacking because they're told to, and you're naturally going to have winners more often than not that have stacks. And not to mention, just because someone says you have a 19% of advancing with Joe Burrow and Chase than having just a Jamar Chase with another quarterback. What's the percentage of advancing if you don't have it? 14? Okay, so if you have a 19% chance and it goes to 14, is it 0? And what if I'm just a better drafter of the people that don't stack? What if I'm just a better drafter of the people in that 14%? And I'm the top of that 14%, and it doesn't matter how many percent are below me. Like, it's just draft the best team, bro. It's so simple, and I'm not saying that in a negative way to you. I can't stand
to follow up with a question real quick though. Like, let's say Anthony Richardson. Would you go like a super dark horse because like maybe 5% of people might have Anthony Richardson? You know what I mean? And you have a chance to get hit on a weekly winner with that. Would you go like super dark horses?
No, here's another thing. There's another thing. Let me ask you. When people say the odds of you having something that's wild, right? Who cares? Like, if you have the best team and someone happens to have the best team with you, yeah, you're gonna split it or whatever. Like, that sucks, but you're picking the best team. If you just try and grab some kind of weird wild card, you still got to try and win with the wild card. It doesn't really make any sense. Draft the best player. There's nothing you're going to be able to say. Any argument you throw at me, I'll just smash it into the ground, whether you agree with it or not. There's nothing that should be more important than drafting the best team you can. It's almost moronic. Not aiming at you. It's almost moronic to try and argue that if you grab some sort of random player, especially that guy got demoted to third string, number one. But I know you're just giving me an example, but right. It doesn't make a lick of sense, bro. I'm telling you. The only time that it's advantageous is if you're chewing gum, walking at the same time, and the stack is even, and you like to have that combination to potentially increase the odds of you having less things to have to go right. That's the only thing stacking does statistically, is if Joe Burrow goes crazy, then your odds of Jamar Chase going crazy with it is there. But there's still a chance that Joe Burrow has a 1 touchdown game, mediocre yardage. Jamar Chase has 120 of it with a touchdown, and your quarterback, let's say Herbert, has 4 or 5 touchdowns. Like, it's just nonsensical, bro. Don't worry about what the stats say or what people are cherry picking. Who's to say that the person that had Joe Burrow, like when you say bully QB doesn't work or something like that, the data says bully QB doesn't work. Joe Burrow was probably a part of most of the bully quarterback situations last year, and he got hurt. So how are you going to use the data? The data's, it's just stupid data. All right, so I got real quickly my team. Let me review it. I've got Nakua, Evans, Tyson, Hunter, Branch, Dell. I don't know, this team's all right. Bowers, Love, Jackson, Brooks, Mitchell, Coleman. It's okay. I don't know if I love the team. Hammer, your team looks pretty good. The best team, honestly, Chuck Nasty, I like your team a lot, bro. For weekly winners, I think you might have the best team in this group.
Yeah.
I like the 12 team too. 12 team looks good. Hammers, yours looks good. You could definitely, again, the worst looking team here could win it. That's just that kind of contest. Not to suggest that there's a horrible looking team here, but just example would be the 9 pick. Like, I don't draft like that. I think that's a disgusting looking team. Taylor, Chase Brown, Kyron, Monty. I mean, Monty doesn't even have a picture, bro. What are we doing? When you get drafted in the 4th round and you don't deserve to be drafted in the 4th round, they take your photo away. Watson, Tate, Godwin, Addison, Pittman. I mean, what are we doing? But I mean, and I like Tate. I love Tate. But that's it. But in weekly winners, that could win. That could win. You just never know. You never know. Weekly winners is so fun in that sense. It really is probably the most fun contest in my opinion, because you can have a team look like trash all year. They could be suspended. They could be injured. In the case of like Hendy breaking out late, or Hendy having the 5 touchdowns in that 2-game span in the middle of the year, those were the weeks you could win $20K. And having Harvey come on late, let's say Jeremiah Love comes on a little late, like kind of ramps up and then doesn't hit a rookie Waldo. And then you have like, from week 4 to week 17 without a rookie wall because they ramp him up slower. And he has that many games of you having potentially a league-winning running back where you didn't have anything in weeks 1, 2, and 3 to a degree. 57 seconds left on the timer here. Hammer, did you have anything else? If anybody extends it, I'll certainly put it back on screen, but no pressure or anything like that. Hammer, anything else? I like your team, bro.
Yeah, I don't really ever draft Ted or BTJ, but in the 5th round, I kind of thought that's kind of a steal, and then I like the upside of BTJ just for having the ability to win.
Yeah, I like it too. Oh, am I on the clock? No, I'm on deck. Chuck Nasty extending the show.
5-minute extender.
The show has just been extended 5 minutes due to a...
Chuck Nasty stepping up for the people.
Not bad.
Stepping up for the people. What'd you say?
You're on the clock.
Oh, I was just saying, not like Luis. Yeah, I like that pick, Jennings. Yeah.
I'll go AJ Barner, I guess, just to get another tight end in the building. So I've got, and I don't care about bye weeks. I mean, you can plan around it a little bit, like saying, hey, I want all my players on the same bye. That way you have more weeks of everybody together to win the $20K each week. So there's different strategies to bye weeks, but I typically don't look at them much at all because I don't really care. But if I had time, I suppose I would analyze a little bit more, and I just don't have time. What push comes to shove, you're sitting there looking at 2 players, you got 20 seconds. You try and memorize some of the things, and you do that through a lot of drafting. But if you have 2 players side by side and they have different bye weeks versus the same bye weeks, then, if you have like, let's say weeks 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you have a bunch of people like on bye constantly, like you could bleed out those entire 4 or 5 weeks. But then again, you're going to have, it's all relative. You're going to have that many shots after that and before that of literally having no buys and having, the ability to like really do some damage. Yeah, I'm just taking swings. Thank you, Chuck, for dropping the.
Yeah.
Why the timer is not.
Good set.
38. I think it's 8:30. Why is it not showing? There it is. So.
I like the Sean Tucker pick.
Yeah, I do too. That's a good pick. He's had a couple 3 TD games, right? Hasn't he? I think he had a 3 TD game last year.
He had one last year.
Yeah, he was that was like a freaking league winner. That was a weekly winner monster right there. 3 touchdowns, Sean Tucker.
Consistently their goal line back.
Mm-hmm. He's a great weekly winner pick. Great. He's a great best ball pick.
Last
period.
year he had that. What was it? He had like 4 attempts for like 6 yards and 3 touchdowns or something. Maybe the year before it was, but one of those games just killed me.
Yes, sir. Whoever got Malik Willis take Douglas late. Yeah, I don't hate that take. I think Douglas looks pretty good. He's got a real shot. I like Chris Bell more, but would it shock me or surprise me if Douglas ended up being better? Like, no, it wouldn't. It definitely isn't what I predict or expect fully, but I think Chris Bell is special, like very special. And if that's the case, if Chris Bell is very special and Douglas is kind of that guy too, like then did Miami really do a bad job? Is Miami, do they really have no receivers? Are people not like even investigating how good the receiver room could be mid-season or in 2027? Kind of funny. Yeah,
What's
Kevin
your
Cole,
whole,
when they drafted like a boatload of receivers. What?
Oh, I was just going to ask, like, because I keep seeing it pop up. They kind of go in a round or two of each other, like Boston versus Concepcion. Like, who do you think's going to, like, pop there?
I don't know. I mean, I like Concepcion more, but I don't know. Hard to say, to be honest. I'd probably say Concepcion, but it's not something that's predictable. It really is going to come down to the rapport between Shador. I doubt it's going to be Watson long term, but Shador and whichever wide receiver he gravitates toward. Concepcion struggle with some drops and such, which doesn't concern me greatly or anything, but there's something to consider. And then I like Boston a lot. I think all of us kind of see the value in both of them, but I would say Concepcion's probably the better talent. And then you got Bond. Isaiah Bond's looking really good. He has been all off season. They got some good receivers for sure. It's kind of a good receiving crew.
Yeah, it's solid. I don't know. I just haven't really. I've been seeing it around, so I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah. Let me see Chuck Nasty's team, because I think he does have the best one. But I mean, Chuck, you can screw it up, so you should be proud of it. But it is the best draft slot in the world for sure. But people screw it up all the time, so congrats on not doing that and drafting a good team. Jahmyr Gibbs, Neighbors, and again, this is weekly winners. He just has to have the best team in one individual week. It doesn't have to endure. It can, Neighbors risk. Neighbors gets ramped up slowly, and we don't expect it. This guy takes out Pierce. Like, none of that matters. I mean, it doesn't matter, because you can win 20K in week 17 and lose everything else and play like crap, or have your whole team suspended for an entire season minus week 17. Or let's say they all play week 1, you win 20K, and then they all get suspended week 2 on. Doesn't matter. You just won't have another shot at 20K for the rest of the year, but you had a team that won one of the weeks. And I don't think anybody's won 2 weeks anyway, but it's possible. But winning 2 weeks with the same team would be pretty hard. But your team looks really good. Gibbs, Neighbors, McBride, Tootin early, but it makes sense because of how it all was going to flow. May, Kraft, Metcalf, Sutton. Those 3 receivers are really, really crafty with that running stable, and I like it a lot. Hammer's got St. Brown, Pickens, Hall, Hendy, McMillan, BTJ. I mean, it's a really good team, too. At the end of the day, that could win, too. Daniel, the commander, in the 10 spot. Lamb, JJ, Devontae Smith, Scattaboo, Price, Hurts, Stevenson, Harvey. It's good.
What about the 7th spot, Smitty?
7th spot.
What about the 7th?
Yeah, I mean, we went over yours earlier. JSN, Walker, Buka, Garrett Wilson, Bucky, JD5, MHJ, Laporta, Dart. Yeah, it's all backed up nicely. I like it. It's a really good team, bro.
Thank you.
I don't know. I went Braylon Allen. I think it's the only Braylon Allen share I have. I was going to time out, and I'm like, we'll go Braylon Allen. Touchdown capable at any moment. Like he is. Did I not answer these real quick? Daniel the Commander. No, I did. Okay. Timed out. This one here. Took Hurts because of the Devontae Smith timeout. Okay, that explains why you didn't go JD5. And then Chuck Nasty with that $20 extender. Thank you, Chuck Nasty. Appreciate you. Hammer, what's your favorite contest? Weekly winners, Best Ball Mania, the puppies, Is there a particular one you love the most, or you just love Best Ball Mania because it's the big one? It's just the contest that everyone's trying to win. Nobody knows your name if you win any of the others, but
I think I kind of like weekly winners.
Yeah. My best one is the big board. I think statistically better at it, but the reason for that is because of all the early calls that start to change.
Do they have any super flex out right now or no?
Not out now. Well, I don't think so. I think they may not bring any more back. They could. You never know. They kind of do things differently all the time. But I don't think I see any. So no. But they might come out with like a real quick one that like if you're not on the app for 24 hours, you might miss it. Like I can't tell you how many times I have no idea what like a contest comes out. So it could be like the Dalmatian 4 butt Superflex, and it could have like 6,000 entrants or something, and it goes boom, $3 one. But if anybody in the live chat notices that there's a Superflex up, tell us in the chat, like get my attention so that we know and I can announce it, because a lot of people are.
I want to do a Superflex.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, we did them when they were around. We were doing them all like every night for a little while, for like a week or two, because we knew we know they're gonna come and go. So we did a whole bunch of them. Every night we did one until that tournament seemed like it was going away.
Yeah, I was looking at that Dalmatian 3. The $1 drafts went quick.
Yeah. But the big boards I do the best with, because I like a lot of my Tootin in round 7. I think Tootin was going in 7. Neighbors was going in 4. AJB was going in 3 or 4. I got a lot of those teams, so my big boards are going to have a lot of advantage, I think, too. You do sometimes have some disadvantage, like I was drafting Gadsden and Njoku like crazy in the beginning, like in February or right after March, and so I like that. I was like, this is a league winner. And like now when I look at those teams, I'm like, I like it. Like I still love Gadsden, but it's hard to know now. Kohler's in the mix, and it's like, oh crap. Last year I had a lot of who was it? There was a couple players that really hampered. Even my Best Ball Mania best team had somebody on it that was like a dead weight. So like you do run the risk of having a dead weight player, especially if there's injury. But man, those ADPs you just can't get them later. You'll get some pros and cons, but man, I having like a Hendy in around like 5. A Tootin in 6. Those things are crazy. All right, boys. 46 seconds or 56 seconds. Anything else, Hammer?
I appreciate it, my man.
All right, later. We'll talk to you later, pal.
See.
Other caller just hung up a second ago. Goodbye to you, Chuck Nasty. We'll see you later, bro.
Yep, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, later, bro. Number 7 drafter. Who was that again? Speak up in the chat if that was you, number 7 drafter, so I know what your YouTube name is. But I appreciate you calling in and hanging out on the phone line. I like your team. Your team looks good. Thank you all for the super chats. Hammer, thank you for the super chat. Simi Valley, Hammer for the other super chat. Thank you to Chuck Nasty, to Daniel the Commander. Street, appreciate your $20 super chat. AMC, appreciate you. Daniel, another one. Calvin, Rome, Snap, Daniel, Rome, Daniel, Hawk, appreciate you. Jesse, thanks for that $20 super chat. Brent, John Savage, Mark, Ray G, Snap, and Mike Jones. Welcome back again, Mike. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate every single one of you. We're live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Don't forget to get on over to my The Fantasy Football Show Eric says, I was the 7 pick. Okay, thank you, Eric. Appreciate you telling me that so I can look for you next time. Go get thefantasyfootballshow.com in your life. Just tell me this website. I've been doing this for 25 years. It's my bread and butter. This is what I did over radio, and this website is what I did for 19 years before I got into, YouTube. So this is the bread and butter. Look at it. Just tell me you don't love that. Go check it out and then and decide for yourself. thefantasyfootballshow.com. Year-round content, rankings, bowl predictions. And don't forget to get on over to the Patreon. I'm going to drop both links right now in the live chat. Here's the link to the Patreon. It's a 24/7 live chat group, 365, 24/7. In fact, I'm going to go over there now and answer any questions that might not have any answers right now. It's not a chat just where you at me. You're just asking the group, and I come in as anybody else and answer questions. And then here's the link to thefantasyfootballshow.com if you want to get your rankings, bowl predictions, trade calculator, draft simulator, player pages, schedule board, strength of schedule chart, start bench calculator, week 1 projections, superflex, dynasty, rankings, rookie, super rookie rankings, rookie rankings, redraft rankings, superflex rankings that are redraft, everything you can think of, ADP rankings, my rankings pitted against the ADP rankings with a good and bad button that'll highlight it all green, highlight it all red with what I disagree with and what I agree with. It's just nonstop. Just check it out, thefantasyfootballshow.com. See you all tomorrow. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you, Luis, for creating that extra show today. A little bit after noon time, my time. I think I went live at like 2 or 1. Luis, thank you for the super chats from last night. Hammer, thank you for the super chats tonight. Thank you, Daniel, for the super chats tonight. Thank you, BBQ, earlier. Thank you, all of you. Daniel, appreciate you, my man. Thank you, Street. Thank you, everybody. Chuck Nasty, everybody, appreciate you. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, live at midnight Eastern almost every single night, and live almost whenever big news breaks. See you all tomorrow.